Testing. Okay. B. Hi there. So we'll wait for a while with the counter. So we'll see who else is coming in. So how's everyone? Wait, let me put up the chat. Okay. So later, if later when I share the screen, if you have anything, then you can raise your hand. All right, then we can go further. Suppose we are going to have at least 10 people tonight, only 5 show up from the group. Okay, wait, let me admit more. Wait, just we are letting everyone coming in. Tomorrow, there's another activation going on, and that day we already have another feedback. So I haven't yet post up the positive feedback from the one of the participants as well. I think it was in March group, right? So tonight, I will be showing a few layout, apartments, home layout, office layout. How do you get to do the arrangements? Because for some people, they are still a little bit not sure how to do it. Okay. Okay. Screen. Okay, there are few more coming in. Okay, I hope you guys prepare your question because this round is going to be a little bit different from previously. Is that because sometimes I do live and then a lot of people just watching, they don't get to ask anything. So we get to be do more of an interaction. Okay, so let me start with the screen sharing. Okay. Okay, so here's how we do it because we'll start with the smaller home first for those of you who have apartments, because we have some who are in Hong Kong, some who are in different countries, so that area is a little bit smaller. Okay, so if you have anything, you can just raise hand and then I'll let you talk. So first, before you start anything, when we talk about location, it's always you try to get the center. Okay, so you do your measurement. Usually it's from the center, but for example, in this case, you cannot do from the center is because you cannot stand here. So standing here would also be okay. So from here, only you take your compass. If it's a phone compass, then you just show your compass, which are the direction, location. So most of you are already familiar with this. Still people coming in. Okay. So the next question comes in is that sometimes your activation, you have to do it. For example, it has to be this corner. So a lot of you are asking like, if it's this corner, do I do it in the toilet or do I do it, can I do it anywhere else? So the closest you can do is actually on the door here or also here in this location, but it's already too far. So you can either be this wall, that means it's the closest towards here, then you can have it here. Okay, so if you cannot do it inside, or maybe this area you totally cannot put any glass or anything like that, then you can put it near the wall. Okay, so for example, also another example is that if you're supposed to, the extension here is at the balcony, right? So if you cannot do it at balcony, then you do it the closest here is also okay. All right, so you don't have to go the stretch as long as it's within your whole house. Okay, as long as it's within this perimeter, then for the case you cannot go all the way. So the second choice, of course, the best choice is going all the way, but if you can't go all the way, then you go towards the end. Okay, so that's the common question that people usually would give for the newbies. Next. Okay, so you have to be very familiar with layout for this. So again, this is the same thing. Just finding the center. So then you'll be standing here. In the center doing the measurement. So again, so let's place it because some people okay. So for example, if your activation is at the south, so it's supposed to be inside the toilet, but here is the your long bath, so you cannot go all the way. So the nearest you could have is at the wall here. Okay. Another thing is that sometimes the day there was a question to me is that if they are doing this, they are only staying with their parents, so their parents don't know that they are doing buslak. So whether can they do just within their room? The answer is you can't, because we have to have the whole place. You have to base on the whole place, your location, then only you can do it. Okay, that's how we're supposed to do it. Wait, let me stop share. Okay, so far everyone clear about this? Okay.
Hi, Master Ham.
Hi, Linda. Yeah.
Good evening. The question is similar to that layout earlier. So if we have 3 floors in our house, do we have to go ground floor or we can do multiple floor? It doesn't matter.
You can do multiple floor. It doesn't matter. So it depends on whether if you are spending more time, for example, you're spending more time on your floor where your bedroom is located, then you can do it on that floor. But if you are most of the time, you are, let's say for now, if it's FMCO, you're most of the time you're in your living room in the ground floor, then it's best you do it at the ground floor. So, but you can also do it simultaneously on all 3 floors.
Oh,
that means it's to benefit different people staying in different floors. So as long as it's the same location, then actually I'm supposed to go into that later, but anyhow, since you asked the question, so you can do it actually on each floor, provided it's the same location. All right, so then it doesn't have to be a problem. So sometimes, like if I do activate like 2 sides. Like for example, if I have southern side is my bedroom and southern side is my main door. So when there's an activation on the south, I'll do it in the main door and then I'll do it in my bedroom, provided it's safe lah. Then it's no problem. You can do it.
That makes sense. I have a balcony that goes out. Are you saying that we can't get out the balcony, but within interior is the limitation? Because you draw the line about the balcony earlier. If we can stretch all the way south, that means it reach my balcony as well on the top floor.
You can do it on your balcony, provided your balcony is covered.
Covered.
Yeah, if it's not covered, then you can't. That means you're up to the line where your glass or your door is between your balcony and itself.
Okay.
All right.
Got it. Thank you.
Hey, no problem. Everybody's clear, huh? So then, without further, so tonight it's broadcast out to Facebook and all around. So at least the first time will be like the second time, then it will be private. So for this first time, we'll broadcast it out to Facebook. So I hope that the schedule, maybe we'll be able to do it like once a month, or if you guys find it too often, then we do it twice a month, depending on how you guys go. So, but the first time we do it is that tonight we want to get the basic, all of the things clear. Then after we get the basics clear, then we can go into more personalized or things that you guys can ask. For example, you have certain things you want to do, and then how do you activate and so on. We'll get to that, but we make sure that our basics are okay. Then we can do more stuff. Okay, so let me go back to the cloud app. Okay. Okay. Since we just now we talk about the double story, right? So we'll go. Okay, share screen. Okay, so for double story, for example, we are looking at this. I'll zoom out first. So we have 2 areas. So again, it's just getting the center done. So because sometimes for your upper 2nd story or your 3rd story, you'll be a bit smaller. So it's just based on the center part as well. Okay, so for example, you need to do an activation. Wait, let me do an highlight. If you do an activation, for example, this area. So then on your top floor, also you do the activation somewhere near here. But if let's say here's your bath and your balcony. Wait, let me zoom. So on your ground floor, you can do it on your corner. On your top floor, because this is your bath, and then is somewhere else, right? So your only place where you can do it is actually here. If it's covered, for example, just now, if it's covered, then you can go all the way until here. Okay, so you have two options. Let me draw two arrows. Okay, so you can do it two places. So simultaneously, you can actually activate two places at one time. But coming back again is that if it's two floors, but you cannot do, for example, if it's just because sometimes some people, they get confused, is that, for example, in their home, they do it this area, all right? But then because they are staying in the bedroom, they think that, oh, my personal room, I can do another one here, which is, you can't do that, okay? Because sometimes they just measure within their things. I have people come up to me and say that they activate it wrongly. Okay, so this one you can't do. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Any other questions so far? Wait, there are some more people coming in.
Master Ham, another basic question.
Yeah.
You always say above the waist, right? So if I'm being kiasu, I put a chair and another box on top.
Okay.
So it's really elevated, right? Because when you put a table, it's really neither here, neither there. So when you say above the waist, I really literally try to go above the waist.
Okay. The idea is that it must be above ground, but the easiest way to get is to just on a stool height will be enough. So I put it above waves is that so that people don't put it too low, because sometimes they think that if I say above ground, then they put in maybe a shoebox on the ground and then they do the activation, which is not enough. As long as you got a stool and you got a tray to put your stuff, so you can just move the stool around and put the tray on top of the stool, that will be enough. All right, so it doesn't worse. And the other thing is that if you do any activation, when I say there's a window in that area, then you can actually open up the window. So, but if there's no window or whatever, then you can just use the fan. It's fine if it's the fan is related. Okay, so that's usually how we do it.
Master, I have a question.
Yeah, Karen.
Hi. You know, when the activation says place the glasses for 3 days and be removed after 3 days.
Yeah.
Does that mean, let's say tonight is the activation? So tonight is not concluded as the first night, right? It should be.
If it's late night, then it's not concluded. For example, if it's 9 p.m. and above, it's not considered.
Okay, so say it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So does that mean that day is already 1 day?
Yes, correct. That's already 1 day.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have exceeded my days.
If you exceeded, it's still okay. It's just provided you don't like too short the next day, you throw it out, because
okay.
the activation has to be still. Okay, so later I will introduce one more that you guys actually can do other than the glasses of water. You can actually put something else, add on to the glasses of water.
Okay, so one last question, right?
Yeah.
Example, my northwest area has already been, and how should I call it? Has a water feature already there.
Yeah.
So when we say northwest we need to put 8 glasses. So I just want to confirm I put 7 and then the one water feature is the 8.
You can, or you can also put 8.
I can still put 8.
Yeah, you can still put 8 glasses. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. No, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Because for your house, your water feature in the northwest is already a permanent feature.
Yeah.
So for this one, activation is just that you put the glass there so that you have more of it to activate in that area. That means to retain the chi. Because the next few days, then you will throw out. Because this is a short term. What we are doing, this is short term. So it doesn't go against the Feng Shui
existing water feature.
Yeah, it doesn't go against that.
Okay,
so
cool.
Add on.
All right.
No problem.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's go to the next one. Wait, let me clear up all this file. How are you guys so far in terms of Zoom? If everyone is okay with Zoom, then give feedback, or else we'll go back to the Facebook Live. So you don't have. Okay.
I think this is good. I think it's good to have eye contact and to be able to relate how we, well, the kind of maybe the fuzziness and to get clarity and not live on assumption.
So at least you.
But so far, I think it has been very good activation.
Okay.
For me as well. I'm sure the rest as well.
So at least when you look at the screen, you are not alone in doing that all that every week. There's so many people.
Right.
So wait, let me get to duplex. Okay. Okay, then I'll share the screen. All right, so if it's a duplex, still the same thing. We go to just now. Wait, I'll zoom in.
Master Hand, there are some questions in the chat. You need to on.
Okay, wait. Let me have a look. Let me stop share this. Okay. Let me zoom the screen. Such as one room, room 2, necessarily confined to one particular area. Example, of south location can be within the boundary of south area. Not necessarily confined to one. Chow, right there, everyone. I think Chow, you got a mic. It's easier you by mic because I don't know, not very sure what you're trying to say, whether confined to room 1 or 2. Okay, let me go to the next question before I come back. Okay, Didi here says we should sit in one area when the activation is done, but then why multiple areas acceptable? It's not sitting in one area. You need to be at home. Okay, this one is another common question. This one is you need to be at home because there's another one, I think from March group, the person asking because he keep on activating every weekend. So whenever he activates, then he go off. He phone call back to his office and ask his people to activate, but it's not at his office. You have to be at one of the places if you're activating. So if you're in multiple level, you can activate different levels because there are different people on different levels of your home. Provide, for example, that Saturday or that Sunday. So so you provided in that particular area. That means if you activate in the ground floor, at least you're in the ground floor. If you activate in the second floor, at least you're in the second floor. You cannot like activate and then you go for shopping or you went somewhere else. So that activation actually would not help so much if you're not there. So you need to be at the household. That's why when we say why it will help people who are at the house at that time. And the second thing is that if you're activating, make sure that you catch the first hour and not the second hour. Because sometimes some people, they try to catch the second hour, then they have problem. Make sure that you catch the first hour.
What do you mean by catch the first hour?
That means you are there on the first hour. For example, let's say 9 to 11, morning 9 to 11, right? Make sure you're at home from 9 to, instead of you call back and ask someone to activate and then you're at home from 10 to 11, then it's not as good. The starting of the thing.
But we have a concern. So I activate my office and then I activate my home. So I can't be in two places, right?
Yeah, you can't be in two places. But you will also help those people who are in the office. So if it helps the people in the office, then it will help you, because you're the boss.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
Okay, the next question. It was mentioned best to activate an area where you're spending most of your time at. Yeah, okay. Okay. Put a stool height. No, stool height is that it must be higher, because if you're doing an activation, actually it should be a table height. So stool height, actually we are already the lowest standard already. You cannot be on the floor, because if it's on the floor, then it's not considered an activation in this case. But because if we are doing, for example, personalized in an office and so on, it has to be on the table. That means when I do personalized activation for a person, for example, in a particular office, I would do it on the table. That means the stool height is the minimum that we'll do. We cannot do it on the floor, okay? Because a floor then is too close, because we have to do with the factors that we are activating. Because if I explain that one, then we'll have to go into a course and things like that. But make sure it's stool height. Minimum stool height would do. Okay. So then now we'll go to the share screen. Okay. Let's look at, this is a duplex house. Before I go further, if you are doing any activation in your bedroom, they don't pay me, but if you are doing any activation in your bedroom, make sure your tea light have some holder on it. Make sure your tea light have some holder. Let me. So they don't pay me, I'm just finding that this one is better. So you make sure you get something to hold your tea light, because some tea light, the metal actually will get very hot after a while, especially when it's near the 2-hour limit. So sometimes some people don't know, they think that tea light is safe. So then they can put on top of table, on top of a wooden table or things like that. So it might be fire hazard. So we don't want to activate until you are too hot, then it becomes a fire hazard. Okay, so make sure you have a tea light holder. If it's on a metal tray, then it's fine. If it's not on a metal tray, make sure you have a tea light holder to place your tea light. Okay. Before we go on. Okay, everybody got this? Okay, let's go to the office. Easier. Okay, so in an office situation, it's the same. And this is an open office concept. So if it's an office situation, also you just stand from the center. Stand from the center and you do your measurement. So wherever you need to do the activation, you just activate it accordingly. Okay, so depending where you want to activate it. We will go into, I think the next one that we meet them, we'll go into which are the areas that, for example, if let's say you want to do again, wait, let me change the color. So for example, if you're supposed to do it here, because this is where your customer walks in and all that, you don't want people to ask questions, then you can do it just near the edge. If it's supposed to be here, then you have to do it near the edge. Okay, so somewhere here before that area, it will be fine. But the best is still here. So for the office. And in the office is that sometimes where, let me cut this so you don't confuse. So for example, sometimes you need to do the activation in somewhere here. Then usually if that person, if this person sitting here, then most likely they'll get most of the qi. Yeah. Okay, so they'll get majority of it, they'll benefit this person as well, more compared to the others, because it's sitting the closest here. So this one comes back to just now, we say that we must be at that location when you activate. Of course, everyone else would benefit, but if that person happened to be in that area and not move during that 2 hours, then he or she will benefit the most if in the office area. So if at home, just make sure you are in the vicinity of the floor, will be fine. Okay. Next. Office also, there's only one location. For example, you cannot like try to activate based on, let's say, for example, here is a office room. Okay, let's say this is a room. So you're supposed to activate the location is, just now we say is this one, right? So you cannot be within your office, you try to activate this location, it wouldn't work. So it has to be the one outside. So within your office, your own office, it wouldn't work. It has to be the whole, take into consideration your whole office, right? Not your room. It's just the way it is. So that is something that you need to take note.
So, Master,
yeah,
like my office, I have 2 floors, right? Right now, I only activate the ground floor where the accounts department is, basically. Conveniently, right?
Okay.
But then again, we are all working from home, but my office is just 5 minutes from my home.
Okay.
I still continue to activate the office. Despite the fact that we are working from home. And of course, I also activate my home so that this dual places. So I only activate downstairs. I don't activate the first floor where I'm sitting.
Okay.
So do I need to activate the first floor?
You should activate the first floor and then you see the difference. Since you are spending more time on the first floor.
Okay.
Unless that you happen to be on the ground floor doing things or just.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah. Then you can so you can activate the second floor. But if let's say second floor is nobody on that Saturday or on that Sunday or Friday, then you're not intending to go up during that 2 hours anyway, and then there's nobody there, then there's no point.
Okay.
Okay. So what else we can, okay. So let me share. Everybody so clear so far? So you guys actually don't have any question for the others? Okay. Unfortunately, I'm not selling this. So you guys go and get your own. Get a white one. Get a white one. So you can place this whenever there is water glass involved. Whenever there's water glass involved, then you can get a diffuser and put it, because diffuser, the water keeps on, they use the ultrasonic to diffuse the thing. So the how we say, so it's continuous spraying in the area. So you can actually use this also on top of your, additional to your glass, different glass water. So you can use this. Then this one, you don't need to put for 3 days. This one after it, then you can just keep it or change the content of water, whatever lah. So this one you can use on top, in addition to the glass that's already there. Okay, the humidifier or we call it the atomizer or whatever, you can just find that it's not expensive, and you can place it at that particular activation corner for 2 hours. Okay.
Only when there's water element involved for the activation, then we put the humidifier.
Yes.
Assuming we put if it's a candlelight, we don't.
Yes,
okay?
Correct. So the best is to get white color one. Don't try to get like green or red or different colors, because then you'll mess up your activation.
Oh, okay. Then how about the fan? Must it be a white color too, or what?
No, but for those, for you guys who are in Malaysia, you'll be getting a white one. So you don't worry about it. Okay. It doesn't have to be for the fan, but important is that day we have I saw some of the members, they put up, when they do the activation, they put up like red colored cloth beneath, or some they put some other colored thing. So the guide will be coming up in this 2 days, 2 or 3 days. So by then you can see that the surface of where you put the activation, right? It has to be either it can be white, dark brown, or if it's a metal tray, it's fine. But don't try to put on a red piece of cloth or a green piece of cloth. Those really sharp colors type, then it will change, because we are activating based on different types of elements. That's why you have the different types of candle and the different colors of tea light candles, and also so we don't want to mess it up further, because some areas if you have a red carpet below or red cloth below, then it will actually totally how to say, neutralize your activation. So the results will be half-hearted. Therefore, it looks very nice, but then it will mess up your activation. So it's better not to put those striking colors, purple, orange, green, striking green, this type of colors, or dark blue, navy blue, this kind, then you don't put, because if I state whatever color beneath you need to put, right, then you will be very it will be very troublesome. The idea here is that for us to do it fast, quick, that 2 hours you settle it, so it's an easy way to do it. So we don't try to change or do striking colors.
Okay. how about because when we have 8 glasses or 6 or 5, we need to put a tray, right? So in my case, I use a baking tray.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Can.
Baking tray is black, you know.
Oh, black is fine. Fine, you can. No problem. Wait, there's a question here from Wong to everyone. Is the diffuser counted at one of the designated amount or extra on top of the designated amount? It is extra, so you just add on to it. Eileen asked whether you need to put essential oil. You don't need, don't need. But if you want to, there's no harm. You can, if you want to, there's no harm. But you don't need to. It's just that we want the movement of it only. Okay, or else later I'll be selling the essential oil, $9.99 or whatever amount. I'm seeing Gerald's laughing.
Sam, one question.
Yeah.
So just now you talk about the 8 cups and the diffuser, right?
Yeah.
So the diffuser is actually a replacement to the fan, is it?
No.
So it's in addition.
It's in addition the turbo to the water. Okay. So you don't take out the fan. The fan is there for another reason. So it's very hard to explain. If I explain, then have to go on courses. I think everybody that's here, you don't want to go on courses. That's why you're here, right? Because what I find is that after so many years, people that, even myself, I'm doing this, is that I find is that how wonderful it is would be someone to select all this for me every month and then give it to me when I'm learning at the time. So actually, you don't have to learn and then you just skip that step and then people just feed you the information and do it. I think that's much better. I find that those that learn, they may not even have the time to sit down and search for it. So because too many information get clogged up. At the same time, you're not sure which one can, because which one can, which one cannot. And then the structure changes every 2 hours with so many factors to look at. So that's why using it is much more fun. Then you try to learn it and try to find it. That's the difficult part. The fun part is the activation. So that's the best about doing it. Okay. Okay, and then also another thing that I want to mention about is that we have seen feedbacks. We have had feedbacks that are amazing. We have had feedbacks that are amazing. Those that experience the feedback, maybe in your business, in your sales, or suddenly you got some windfall, not in terms of money or maybe opportunities or things like that. It's best that you do some sort of charity to get the thing going. All right, that is to get the activation going, and then you keep on getting the results. Because this one is nothing about like superstitious or spiritual, but it's just that the activation itself, it is a fine line between manifestation of certain things that you want in your mind, and also achieving that through your own effort, right? So so that means you need to get the energy going, because you have more, then you give out, help others more, and then it keeps on. It's a perpetual upward cycle, rather than you got it and then you keep on trying to tap more and more and more and more. But even though you experience really good results, but you don't then how to say, try to give back. So it becomes bigger each time. because all this is forms of energy as well. Okay. Some of you guys, I think there's one person waiting in the room, but your name I cannot recognize, so I don't know who's that. Okay, so anyway, let me find another one. We go the last one. Story. Okay. So this one, we never got to it. Okay, so you can see this one just now we talk about the top floor actually is much longer than the ground floor. So wrong. So the second floor is actually the layout area is much bigger. Okay. But if you are working on the edges of your property, the edges of your home, then you'll be fine. So then there won't be any confusion points. Because sometimes I find that people who find confusing is because they learn other courses and so on. So when they come in here, they are a little bit confused. So they don't know which one they should follow, right? So this one, you cannot do all the way to the car park. It has to be within your area, okay? Because some people say, can I do a car park? The car park is also covered. You can't. It has to be within your own four walls. Okay. So in each floor that you go to, if you know that the areas are much smaller, then you can just find the center point. Then some people say, what if I have missing corner? You know, like a lot of people like to. So let's say your home here, your layout, there's this particular yellow one is an empty. Okay. So let's say here, so here's supposed to be your southwest. So you need to do an activation on the southwest. Unfortunately, let's say on your second floor, you need to do activation on southwest. So you cannot go all the way because it's a missing corner, and then that's outside of your home already. Or maybe this one is an uncovered balcony or air valve. So you can only do it on the edge here, or if it's your southwest, or you can do it on the edge here. Okay. So you cannot do, for example, you cannot do here, then it's wrong. Okay. Here it's considered wrong already. Yeah. So it's just towards the edges of nearest to the southwest wall that you have. Okay. So that applies to all the missing corners. Okay, so now we have question here is that providing meal to the needy or 天佑 from child, is it considered charity? Yes, providing meal, or let's say you donate to whatever religious organization that you believe in, it's fine. That do help others, then it's fine. Wong Jeffrey, what if the room falls between south and southwest? Can still be done in the room, but we find the very southwest location. Yes, correct. You find the very southwest location, as we have said just now. As long as you can get it on the southwest location. If wait, let me go to the screen sharing. When we talk, it's difficult. Okay. Okay, so for example, your southwest so your southwest, you have to activate on the top floor. So your southwest is either the bedroom, let's say, it's either the bedroom or the edge of your bath here. Okay. So let's say here you can't do, here is so here's, let me add another one. Okay. So I think this one will be better. So the south and the southwest, right? So here starts the southwest. So you want to do in the bedroom, so you don't know whether you should do it here is considered south or here southwest. So you just stand from center, you point your phone compass towards the southwest. So if it happens to be here next to your bed, then you can do it here. Instead of the one closer to the south, you can just on the southwest. Alternatively, if let's say the bedroom, you don't have access, maybe you rented the room to someone else. Okay, so alternatively, you can just do near the wall here. Let me zoom. Okay, so you can do here or okay, so there are two places that you can do the activation. So it depends on where you are at. Okay, so I hope that answered your question. I only want to confirm again, diffuser, measure as addition, it means that 8 cups, you put 7 cups. No, you put 8 cups at the diffuser. So the diffuser, you don't count as the cup. Okay, so just 8 cups plus diffuser. I think Jerome answered very well. Sandra, will there be replay? Yeah, it's on Facebook. So you can watch it there. Thanks to Jerome for answering. Okay. So, any other questions before we wrap it up?
One last one.
Yeah.
My stairs is always at the east section of the stairs. So wherever you say activate east, I start to cringe because I don't know how to. But then now I realize, if I'm correct, there is a rail right in every east section. So I go to the maximum next to the rail for the east section before this, because I can't put anything on the stairs, basically.
Yeah. So you can do that. Maximum on near the rail, you can do that.
Okay, got it.
No problem. For some, if they have a bigger landing area for the stairs and it happens to be that corner, then you put on landing area also is okay. But if you can't, then it's just nearer on the railing. Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. So if you guys don't have any further questions, then we are going to wrap it.
Thanks a lot. It's been a very good session.
Next, I think next we'll do it somewhere next month. So I will do the schedule and then I'll let you guys post it up for you guys to do. So next we'll go to, I think we already done 2 times the Q&A. So I think everybody should be very clear already. So from the Q&A, then we'll do maybe a little bit more in depth into such as what are the areas that you do and then how that particular area can affect others. So I'm trying to do all that further, so then we can have more community. So I hope that more people will participate in asking, because later you guys don't private message me, I won't answer already, because everybody have a chance.
You don't mean it.
Everybody's gonna have a chance to have all this. Anyway, it's good for those who are in KL. I hope to set your free gift maybe next week onwards, because all the sending parts has been cocked up by the seller. So, but anyway, it will reach you guys.
Thank you.
The rest is that you can ask through Telegram questions. If you have any questions, you don't be shy, ask through Telegram so other people can benefit. If you PM me alone, usually I would also ask you guys to ask on the group, because then we will have that question is there, then other people later they can refer it back, rather than everybody private message me and then if I answered, then somebody else would have the same question as you guys. So at least tonight also, thanks to Karen and Linda and the rest that asking question, because a lot of people maybe they will also have the same question, but they never thought of it, or maybe at this particular moment a little bit shy, they don't want their voice to be recognized or whatever. So we will do another one next month, and next month we want will depend on the topics. Like if it's basic, then we'll broadcast. If it's not, then we won't. So we'll go into doing more other things. Okay. So tomorrow will be an activation. So for those of you who are in Facebook, you get to do until 6th of June. We are giving out free. So you just need to fill up later. I will post up the Google Forms. So if your friends are interested, then get them into the Google because it's free. All right. Thank you guys for joining. Everyone else, be safe and allow unmute. Okay. So everyone take care.
Thank you, Sifu.
Bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take care.
Okay, take care, everyone.